Do you have any questions for our speakers? Okay, a lot. I can see it.
I have a question. With a robotics customer, a consumer, in Vietnam, many of e-commerce companies focus on technologies and run many campaigns for marketing and sell off, but the quality sometimes is low. So, do you think the company should focus on the quality of item or the sellers before develop technologies and campaigns marketing? So.
Yeah, sure.
Please. I can only comment, and I've got one entrepreneur that I really love. He's very very smart, very attuned to his business idea, and his point to me: get the product right first.
Exactly.
Right, and then they'll come back. You know, the easiest and best way to market to people is to retain your existing customers. So if you haven't got the product, you haven't got quality, then they'll go away. That's it. Bye bye business.
Sure.
I may want to add in. I would like to add in something. Through 8 years in e-commerce, I witnessed a lot of change. You are right. So the next question for me to ask will be like, what will be the repeat purchase for that customer? If the quality of the product is bad, then he or she just buy one and never come back. So recently, if you look at all the top e-commerce, you will see that the way they rate the product is mostly come from the customer, the real voting one. But also sometimes they have the voting the recommendation from the service like from him. So recently, the algorithm on the platform they build behind based on either the item sold or either the rating or either the GP, the revenue of that item. So no worry, you will get that.
Sure. Okay,
One more.
Oscar, I want to ask.
So totally agree about the product quality being very important, but I want to play a little bit different card in here, and it depends on the expectations of the customer. Maybe the expectation of the customer is to get a cheap product, and you provide a cheap product with cheap quality. Let's say someone that wants to buy a shirt very cheap, you give a cheap quality shirt, and they may be very happy because they bought what they were expecting. At the end of the day, it's about matching expectations, and the internet, the e-commerce needs to find a way to really share transparency on what you're going to receive. And on that line, like we were talking in the future, we may be seeing things like augmented reality or something else, where you will be knowing more about the product you are buying. So I think it depends. That's the answer. There will be still a market for low quality, cheap products, because there's people that just like the kick of buying something online, and I am one of them. I use AliExpress. I don't know if you know that one, but AliExpress, they have a lot of small products that I know the quality is not going to be good. It makes me feel good to buy from time to time. So it kind of it's like a drug. So there will be a market for that, but you need to understand your user persona. That's the most important.
Exactly, I agree. But I think most of the people would expect the quality is good, but the price is cheap. So it's already like that. It's very difficult for e-commerce platform to solve problems. Any other questions? Okay.
Hi guys, just want to say thank you very much for sharing the thoughts. It's very valuable. So it's a question. So I've seen, I've been living in the UK for 15 years, just moved back here. I've witnessed in the UK people want to buy something, go to eBay or Amazon. And in Vietnam now, we've just seen a lot of big players, like you guys have mentioned. With your experience and who's going to win on this race? First of all, a bit tricky. But another question is, with a lot of potentials and in the Vietnam market, what do you see the threat to the local commerce? So we talk about e-commerce, what the threat are, that will impact local companies. Thanks.
Do you want to answer, Oscar?
Yeah, why not? A very, very difficult question, but I would like to answer you maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The answer would have been Lazada. Today, no, sadly no. I hope no one comes from Lazada here. They will hate me, they will not hire me.
I was in Lazada.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. But several years
But
ago...
you're right.
That's
It's because he left and then we went down. No, but the reality is that because the market changed a lot, there are a lot of opportunities and there are a lot of risks. And players that now look very promising, like maybe Tiki 5 years ago, it was promising, but it was not as big as it is right now. And they become big by setting up setting up a vision in the mind of the users. So when you think about Tiki, or when many people think about Tiki, they think about quality. When people think about Shopee, they think cheap, fast, and good talk or something like that. So depending on the e-commerce, people think about different things. And I believe that while there will be very few marketplaces that will stay on the top of the mind of the people, there is still a lot of space for medium or small players which will customize the experience, which will deliver something very unique for the users, and they will do a very good job. And because, as we said, the market is growing, even we don't know if it is 5 billion or 30 billion, but we know it's going to grow, there will be that space for many people to play a role. But maybe eventually the big players, they will be falling a little bit, and there will be only few big players and several middle players and small players that will be able to do something very customized, very dedicated.
So I have one answer for your question. So the only one who will win in this market is the customer.
Yes.
So I tell you what, the more competition among these big guys, the more benefit the customer can enjoy.
Sure.
Right? Back to 1 or 2 years ago, all the big guys like throw money to burn to get the market share, do a lot of subsidize. Like if the product is 10, they will like burn their money. They sell at 7 or 8, like just lost. But the customer will buy at the good price. Yeah. I would like to get back a bit. Don't take me wrong. When I say I agree with him, I mean depend on which angle you look at. Right, but if you look at in terms of the traffic into the website, recently the name that you just mentioned dropped down versus Sendo or Tiki or Shopee. But if you look at different angle, like for example, they already moved to the corporate state, while other guys still in the startup state. So it's different. So the definition of win or lose is totally different, right? Yeah.
That is right. I think so, because I remember Shopee CEO was in an interview. He said that Shopee right now still not gaining any benefits. They still have to put a lot of money into the market. So situation will be lasting for quite a long time until it's reach any results. So okay, sure.
Yeah. I love your accent, by the way. London accent, there we go.
He's from UK, sir. You are from UK, sir. That's why.
I left the UK before he was born.
Oh, okay.
Well, just to really echo your point, the customer is the only winner. Really, I mean, that's the nature of the internet. That's the nature of digital branding. That's the nature of the virtual world within which we compete. So the customer will win for sure and absolutely. And to answer your question, we don't know. Who will win, who will lose, which particular player will dominate in the end? Probably none. There's ever more opportunity for fragmentation, for customization, for particular segments, particular products, having people that are specialists at servicing that. So lots of opportunity. We don't know who's going to win apart from the customer for sure.
Any other question? A lot. So we go to hints.
My question is about technology becoming more and more addictive, and one of you mentioned FOMO, and obviously the applications wants us to keep coming back, and this is how they make money and so on. And e-commerce is about convincing the customers to just buy this, click on buy and get the product bought. And some might consider that tricking customers, and some of the method might be considered not so ethical. Is there any consideration for the ethics, and where do we draw the line?
I would like to add a little bit. E-commerce is not only about customers, but also about clients. For example, Alibaba, they are for clients. Yeah, please answer the question.
Do you like Candy Crush? Do you like Candy Crush? Right, that's addictive, isn't it? That takes your money. Is that ethical?
I think it is ethical. I keep coming back to it, and I think with the ethics, it is a very complicated issue.
Right. So let's not talk about ethics then. Let's recognise that we're in business, and being an old hat, old world video game developer, I know a little bit about value exchange, high production values, making the experience. Let's not say addictive like Candy Crush. Wow, it's amazingly addictive. But what achieves that is good production values. It's good user experience design, good interface design, nice colours, nice sounds. Every e-commerce website should be like that. Every mobile application should have those values. So, and there will come a point at which customers don't accept page refresh anymore. They don't have to go and figure out where this thing is. Let's just bring good production values, the lessons of video games, to everything we do, and that should be a major fact of competition, a major quality of what we build into our products. All those values. Ethics, I don't know. Make it good, make it compelling. People will come back.
One more question?
Can I add something else?
Okay.
So because the question I think is very, very interesting, but the reality and something that I have to answer, which is not going to be very, very beautiful, but the reality is that we are in business. You are competing against many other people, and many people will, if you don't use those techniques, other people will do it. And the truth is that the more data we have, the more we understand what the behavior of the user is. Actually, almost anyone here with an e-commerce will have Google Analytics, will have Hotjar or something similar to know where the clicks are going, where are falling. We use AI to know where to put and what to put, so we attract them. We put lights to attract. So the reality is that this is not about ethicals, it's about business. And the ethicals is something that comes from the inside of the person. You cannot ask to the market to have ethics. But I hope in the future, in a worldwide kind of level, there will be not ethicals, but there will be government decisions to limit those effects, same as we limit the alcohol and drugs. Because as I said before, I was addicted. It was a joke, but I see many people that is actually addicted to buy because you get a kick by buying. So same as all the addictions is dangerous, and I believe maybe in the future we will have some regulations more strong to Candy Crush and to e-commerce sites as well. Yeah.
I would like to share one funny experience. So the big guy like on the leading e-commerce platform here, they apply the machine learning and they do retargeting marketing a lot, right? So we got a lot of feedback from customers that why on their Facebook they see a lot of set noise product. And they claim that why this guy, big guys in the market, but you guys all sell the set toy product. It's not true. We are insider. We know that, hey man, it's machine learning. So what you see, what you used to see before. Yeah. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. You're a man, so that's what you buy.
One more question.
Hello everyone, and first I would like to say thank you about your sharing tonight. It's very helpful and a lot of information that I got from. My question is actually come back to the quality of product in the e-commerce business. Like I'm so a customer of like Tiki, Lazada or like Shopee, and I so click a lot, check a lot, many information, and when I order to buy and when I get delivery, it's not the same quality. Same quality with the picture they saw or advertising like that, make me really disappointed. So, for like And when you receive a product that's not like you expect about, you will feel disappointed. You don't come back to that seller, and as well, make me feel that I don't trust that website as well. It means, you lose just to client, not only from the supplier, but also from the provider of that e-commerce or business. So my question is, any solution from you guys that you can prevent or try to control more about this, because I also like I consult, and also I contact and we work with some like Lazada or some company before. Actually, they didn't even contact us to check our product, how it look like. They just only request like some license, some certificate of product, and some photo of product. That's it. And they even don't look at the product like how it look like. So I think that you guys, if you do in this business, you have to consider about any solution to prevent this happen about the quality of product to your client, to your end user. Like when we receive the good quality, like because many, I know that many competitors in that website, and they have like different price of each product. But like you see, because we don't see the product in reality, and lot of suppliers, they sell many different price, and many companies, they have also a lot of discount, and they put the same photo of that product. So how can we know what is good quality and what is bad quality? We don't know until we see. And when you see and you have to buy that one or you have to buy that one, you feel disappointed.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that from you guys, you have to check about the product, and maybe if you don't have time for that, you have to help your client.
Yeah,
to do that.
Sure. As our owners of an e-commerce business, I agree with you. But I think it depends on the visions of the companies and the strategy of the company. If they don't target, they don't have a big strategy for the future. They just want to sell their product and then care about today, not tomorrow. Then it's very difficult. So we are here. Of course, we care about the qualities, but we cannot cover or say for all e-commerce platform out there.
Yeah, actually, I know that you cannot cover, but at least you have to have those solutions to
I do.
Because like if you say that this because the supplier also your partner in your business, if they provide very bad product or bad service, so it's also affect to your company image to client. And like me, when I buy many things from Shopee and I receive the different things, I'm not only disappointed about the supplier, I'm also disappointed about your guy.
Exactly.
Because you guys don't check the product, or like you guys don't remain like think about the quality of the product or something like that.
I want to clarify a word for Navigos Group. We help people and companies to achieve their dreams by finding jobs. No, just sorry, but I like a lot what you are asking because that represents what we were talking today. There is an opportunity for a lot of segments, and you are one specific segment of the market that needs to have reality and quality. And there are solutions for those segments, and there will be solutions like video. You will be able to see what you are buying through video, through a speaker that will be showing you, okay, this is what you are buying, look at it, you can open it, you can use it. So that solution could be more appealing for you. While for other people, they don't want to spend the time and they will prefer to just watch the picture and maybe get something different. So there will be many solutions. Another solution could be to improve the process and have a better process of certification. But maybe that process of certification increase the overhead and therefore increase the price. And maybe some people is not interested about that certification as long as they get it cheap. So what we are trying to say is there will be a lot of opportunities for many solutions because there is a lot of people. And the more people goes to the market, the more opportunities for players to give exactly what you need. So it's just a matter of time. You will have in the future some place to buy the products and the way that you like it.
Yeah, and I will also want to ask, customers also can do some things about that. For example, if you buy something not good, please make a review on
It's
their
called
website.
market forces.
Yeah. Okay, you want to ask something?
There will be a solution, don't worry, give it time.
Yes, and then spread the word to your family, friends, and relatives to let people know about that sellers. So all of us can help step by step to improve the situation. I think so.
Actually, I see many very familiar face here working for Lazada, Shopee. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your feedback. I'm working for Shopee now. Okay, I'm working for Shopee, and I think that your situation is not exceptional because I'm also a user of Shopee, and I know your feeling and your situation. And as a employee of Shopee, I can tell you that in Shopee we have a warranty. That for each buyer, you can have a 3-day. For the technology stuff, electronic stuff, you have a more than 1 week to check and to return the product if you do not satisfy with the product. And this is the warranty of Shopee. And one more thing that you should consider is that in Shopee we have a Shopee Mall. Then the product in Shopee Mall we check carefully before we in the e-commerce platform. And then we can guarantee that all of the product in Shopee Mall is authentic, not fake, or have any issue relating to the quality of the product. So I suggest you to consider the product in the Shopee Mall, and you can have a small chat with the buyer in the chatbot or in the conversation through the e-commerce platform. I think that there is a lot of information you can consider and to have a good decision before you find something in e-commerce platform.
Yeah, so you can say that go to something more to see that better quality. And why don't you do it for everyone? And if you say that one side is like challenging, you have to guess that what is one, and one side is the more quality. So why don't do everything for quality?
Because at the beginning, Shopee e-commerce platform is for customer to customer, and in one side we create the ecosystem for all of the customers can interact and also selling the product for all of the other customers. And in the other hand, we also follow e-commerce platform in business. C2C, that's the reason why we have the Shopee Mall at the same time as C2C, like you say, customer to customer, and the other product are sold by the customer.
So as I understand, like some big e-commerce platform like Tiki or Shopee, they have like 2 parallel systems. One is B2C and also C2C, right? Okay. So you should try to reach B2C systems to get better products, I guess, right? Okay. Okay, one more question.
Hi, sorry. I'm going to keep it short. Yeah. So I have a question for Mr. Nguyen. And so you said earlier that Vietnamese businesses should, use online payment more than COD, right? But the issue is so I used to live in California, and I use Amazon because I can trust them with my when I pay them to ship me, exactly what I order most of the time. But sometimes it's not, and I can return it, and that's fine. And I do that because I trust them. But and this is an issue that happens a lot in America, but also in Vietnam, where multiple times I have been admittedly stupid enough to order something from one of those Chinese websites, pay the money, and never get it, and or get something very unsatisfactory, like she brought up earlier. And I'm wondering, and you said that in Vietnam we should use more online payments, but as a customer in Vietnam, I don't feel like I trust certain businesses enough to do that. They can fully take your money and not even deliver to you, or deliver to you, an unsatisfactory product. And what I'm trying to say is that a lot of Vietnamese people I think that a lot of Vietnamese people use COD because they can see the product first and choose to back out once, they see the product. And I guess my question is that how does a business create that trust that Amazon creates?
I love your accent and I love California too. Los Angeles,
amazing.
Here we go.
Hi. Hi, neighbor.
And indeed, love it.
One, right?
Love it, yeah. No, I mean, you're right, and let me rephrase what you think I said. It's not up to us to dictate to the market. The market has to choose.
Right.
If the market doesn't trust, COD, here we go. I mean, as we heard from our problem earlier, there's still a significant problem with quality in this market.
Yes.
It's up to the players, up to the e-commerce vendors to get their act together right first, build that trust, build that confidence, and then they will have earn the trust of their customers to give them money up front. So it's all down to quality in the end.
So how do you build that trust? Do you think we should start doing returns? Because I don't feel I haven't heard about that. I've only been back for a month and a half, so maybe that happens, but I don't know. But is that one of the steps?
I can tell you that this morning I was building in the returns process to the e-commerce platform that I'm building. So yes,
thank you.
We need that. It costs a little bit of time and effort
to
manage the return, but the loss of a valuable long-term customer is incomparable. Build trust.
You're right.
Okay.
Say it louder.
I would like to share something because we have an e-commerce, Vietnamese Learning. It's an e-commerce that sells online products. So let's say you go to Vietnamese Learning, you buy a course, you learn it online. So it's all digital. Still, we receive above 60% of our orders on COD. But think about it. We're talking about buying something software. You receive it through COD. So basically, we send a letter with a code, you pay, and you get a code to put the course. So in that case, it's not even about trust of receiving the product. It's more about habit. I still believe that the trust is very important, but there is a very big component, which is a habit. And while this habit is there, I think that we still need to support it because you cannot go against the market. So you need to follow that habit. And slowly having those, of course, having things like refunds, which we have, or having other options is good. But for the time being, the market is what is asking. So we have to do it even with digital products, which is, honestly, for me, was very surprising.